Hello, Dharma Circle. Happy full moon day and Hanuman Jayanti. Perfect day to be talking about Jyotish and your niche. So, this class is all about understanding how Jyotish can truly support you in refining your niche, your specific dharmic business, and expressing this, communicating properly your dharmic business. So we're blending some traditional, some current business marketing ideas with this ancient Vedic tool of Jyotish, and they actually blend really well. And I found that Jyotish supports our dharmic business and our marketing and our niche and our communication to our ideal client on such a precise level, and there's really nothing else like it. So let's dive in. First of all, in the business world, everyone talks about niche. Niche marketing is a really important piece of understanding how to market, who to market to, how to communicate properly to your people, to your ideal client. And so what a niche is really refining what your business is. So not just, I help people with their fitness goals or losing weight. A niche would be, I help new mothers, 6 months postpartum, reclaim their body wisdom and their intelligence and support their body goals. So very specific, you're talking to a very specific person for a very specific reason. We want to be able to do that with our business, and we want to be able to do it in a way that's aligned with the purpose of our soul. That's the difference between a dharmic business and any old just regular career path or a business model. And many of you are circling and you're in the field. You're in the field of dharma. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. But there's some missing pieces, and that's where Jyotish really comes in. So, everybody in the business world, we know that a precise niche improves your chances of success. It's so important to niche down, and most of you need to niche down a lot more than you currently are. Ayurveda is a huge topic. And for many practitioners, what I see is whether you're a chiropractor or a massage therapist or, an Ayurvedic practitioner or counselor, you're trying to serve everyone. And that's what you've been taught. You've been taught that I'm supposed to help anyone who comes in my door. And in fact, what you're missing is your precise niche that is specific to your dharma, the purpose of your soul. And so we really need to refine, who am I serving? What exactly does my wheelhouse of gifts and wisdom and tools support? What are the outcomes? And then also, what have I been through? What do I already know to be true based on my experiences, my own journey, and that I can help you with specifically? So we want to be so specific, so clear. And if you are not in this realm of, I'm so clear, I know exactly who I'm talking to, I know exactly why I'm talking to them, and I know exactly the results I provide for this specific person, then your marketing will be too broad. And when our marketing and our messaging is too broad, we don't know who we're talking to, and no one else knows who we're talking to either. Our ideal client can't identify themselves with who we're trying to talk to and why. So this is why Jyotish is so important for clarifying your absolute, precise, unique niche that is only for you, only for your path, your purpose, your gifts, and your wisdom. There's no one else like you. There's no one that can possibly do what you do. We want to clarify what that is, and we want our marketing and our messaging, our communication, and who we're working with to be so pristine, so clear, so precise. And then success is so much easier because your client knows exactly, you're talking to them. They identify with what you're saying. And it is part of your own experience. You can speak from a level of deep inner knowing because this is your path and your purpose. And this is very controversial, and I don't mind being controversial. Jyotish is the most precise tool for Dharma. It's always been used for Dharma. That is the purpose of Jyotish. In fact, Jyotish is not about prediction. That is not the highest purpose of Jyotish astrology. Jyotish is the most ancient tool we have on this planet for refining the purpose of the soul. That is the original intention of Vedic astrology, Jyotish. The original Jyotishis created this very precise tool for this exact reason. Stay connected to the light of your soul. Know exactly what your purpose is in this lifetime so we don't lose the path, so we stay in contact with the purpose of the soul in this lifetime. And use this to inform our choices, our behaviors, our actions, and most importantly, trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in the path, the unfolding path, trust in these gifts and this wisdom that we embody, and share that in this world to serve, support, activate other souls. Now, in this time of Kali Yuga, this is even more important. This is the time of darkness. This is a time period, a cycle in the Vedic calendar that's thousands and thousands and thousands of years long. And we've only just begun Kali Yuga. In this time, the ancient Vedic Jyotishis knew that this time was coming. It's inevitable. These cycles, we have all kinds of cycles. Before Kali Yuga, it was Sat Yuga, a time of purity and Dharma. We're not there anymore. And if you look around, you'll notice that Dharma is very rare. This concept, this idea of living the purpose of your soul and nourishing your soul through sharing your gifts and wisdom, making money doing that, supporting yourself. It's actually the highest purpose of Dharma, is to actually make money from your soul gifts to support yourself, sharing your gifts and wisdom, and helping others at the same time. This is the highest purpose of Dharma and a dharmic business. And the reason for that is there's no conflict with the soul. If you're clocking into a 9 to 5, let's say you're helping someone else fulfill their Dharma or their dreams and their desires, and it has nothing to do with honoring your soul purpose or your soul desires and sharing your soul gifts in this world, there's a conflict here. You're making money from something that does not deeply nourish your soul. That's a problem. That's actually adharma, and it can be very problematic for the evolution of the soul. So when we have a dharmic business, we're actually in right relationship with the gifts, the wisdom, our soul purpose, the light of the soul, and we're making money from this. So it actually enhances the reciprocity. I'm being nourished as I nourish others, and in turn, I'm even more nourished. There is no conflict here, and that is ideal. So the brilliance of Jyotish, and it's unmatched. You know, I'm sure some of you are not going to want to hear this, but anything that is not Jyotish cannot fully help you understand your Dharma and your dharmic path. This is the most ancient tool that we have on the planet for Dharma, specifically for Dharma. Western astrology doesn't even come close. Doesn't even come close. First of all, Western astrology is not accurate. It's not astronomically correct. It's like getting a slice of the pie. I don't know why you would want a slice of the pie. And certainly from a dharmic perspective, you really need the whole pie. You really need access to the wholeness. And all these other life purpose coaches and people who say they help you with the purpose of your life and, whatever tool they're using, it's partial knowledge at best. It's partial knowledge. And that is extremely problematic. Now, I'm not saying it can't help you on some level, but when we really want to know Dharma and understand Dharma, we need whole knowledge. We need pure knowledge. We need dharmic knowledge, not partial knowledge. And the problem I see with partial knowledge, people come to me and it's like, you're circling and circling and circling for years. And you're just wasting time. You're wasting time, you're wasting energy, and you're not nailing it. Like, let's just get on with it. Let's know exactly what we're doing here and move on. Get it done and succeed. And it takes the knowledge of Jyotish to do this. And it takes a very skilled Jyotishi who really knows what they're doing and is clean and clear in their own consciousness. And many of you know my story. I grew up with Jyotish. I've consulted with top Jyotishis from all over the world since I was 7 years old. And in fact, Jyotish and these other Jyotishis didn't really help me much with my Dharma. There was a lot of misinformation. So even this tool can be misused, and it can be used to cause harm. And so we need to be very careful how we're using Jyotish, who we talk to, who we receive our knowledge and wisdom from. It's not just enough to go to any old Jyotishi and have them tell you what your Dharma is. In fact, and this is really what I hope for all of my clients, is that you will learn your own chart. You will continue to peel back the layers of your own chart. You will become skilled in your own chart and its wisdom, the map of your body, so that you know yourself inside and out, and you just keep peeling back the layers. That we don't refer to an outer authority to tell us what to do and how to do it and where to go and what to do, all this outside of the self stuff. No, the true purpose of all of the Vedic knowledge and the Vedic limbs and the Vedic texts and the Vedic technology, this ancient technology, is to know thyself. And so ideally we use Jyotish to really know thyself. And that's really my intention for sharing Jyotish, and why I use it with my clients, and why we use it to support the dharmic path as well as the dharmic business. So this tool is, quite frankly, and to be very blunt, this tool of Jyotish is the most precise dharmic tool we have available on the planet. And as long as it's used correctly and it's used with least harm, and we're using it to move us closer to the light of our soul, then this can enhance the path on every level. It's truth. It's truth on every level. Satyameva Jayate. And it also enhances your dharmic business. And it's a brilliant tool for marketing. And it's a brilliant tool for niching down to your exact precise niche. And it's a brilliant tool for then understanding how to communicate to your ideal client and communicate precisely to who you work with, why you work with them, and the outcomes that you provide. But we really need to understand our own chart first. And this is why in Dharma Mentorship, this is the first thing we do together. We have a session, we look at the chart, and we clarify exactly what your offering is, your precise, pristine niche, how you're going to communicate, what the offering structure is, who you're talking to, and why. We can't even do anything else until we have that conversation and we get so clear on what your offering is. And again, this is very specific to you. This is your path, your purpose. There's nothing else available like it on the planet. Even if someone has similar gifts, similar tools, there's only one of you. And we want to use the Jyotish chart to refine that uniqueness, which is your niche. And that niche is only unique to you. And then we can communicate. Then we can market properly. Then we can attract the ideal client based on this knowing. And it's in right relationship with your soul and your soul purpose. None of this circling with partial knowledge. It drives me crazy. I mean, literally, I watch business coaches and soul purpose coaches and spiritual guides and marketing coaches. They're making it so hard for you. Partial knowledge makes the path so much harder than it needs to be. And again, the waste of time and energy and life force circling. And rather than just, this is exactly what I'm here to do, this is who I'm here to work with, this is my precise niche, and this is the cycle that I'm in right now that supports and enhances my unfoldment. Because we have cycles, right? We have these the timing, and Jyotish is all about timing and nature's timing. And we can't go against nature. Nature will only allow us to ripen when we're ready. It's like trying to grow a garden in the middle of winter, or have a flower blossom in the middle of winter. It's not possible. And so Jyotish can support us in our timing. Like, am I in winter right now? Is that why nothing's blossoming? Or am I in springtime and I'm ready to blossom and I just need the right medicinal doses of this, and this to start blossoming fully? And that's what Jyotish can support us with. So again, Jyotish is your most important tool for whole knowledge, whole dharmic knowledge, and knowing the soul purpose in this lifetime, enhancing the light of your soul, and growing your business as a result. Now, when we look at a Jyotish chart, we want to look at Rahu and Ketu immediately for understanding the karmas of this lifetime and the dharma of the individual. Now, remember, the whole chart itself is a map of your body, first and foremost. And secondly, we must take the whole chart into consideration when it comes to dharma. So I'm going to share a couple little things to look for, but we never want to segment the chart. We want to remember that this chart is really and needs to be used in a whole way, in a holistic way, not a compartmentalized way. Again, whole knowledge, okay? And the whole chart, all of the vast layers that Jyotish provides us with is all designed for one thing, and that is enhancing the light of the soul, deepening self-trust on the path, and staying connected to the purpose of the soul in this lifetime, in this body, in this incarnation. And so Rahu and Ketu show us the main karma of this lifetime. These are shadow nodes. They are mathematical points on either side of the natal moon. They will show you where the shadow of the intellect is, the shadow or the illusion, the Maya, that is clouding our clarity and our full awareness. Rahu is always pulling us towards some karma, some desire in this lifetime, in this body. And I don't care how hard you try to stop it, you won't be able to. Rahu is the driving force in this soul, for this soul in this lifetime. So first we look to see, all right, what am I being pulled into into this life. And this is also the most basic desire that the soul had to incarnate into this body, into this lifetime. So if we don't have Rahu and Ketu, then we wouldn't even be compelled to come into this body, into this form, into this life at this time. So pay attention to where Rahu lives and what house he's in, what sign he's in, what planets is he with, what is he influencing in the chart as a whole. That is a driving force for the soul, and it always correlates to Dharma and peeling back the layers of illusion that the illusion of on our consciousness, on our intellect, on our intelligence. Ketu is always 7 houses away. This Rahu Ketu axis is a 7-7. And Ketu is cutting the ties that bind us to the material world. So here Rahu is pulling us into desire, into the material world, while Ketu is always cutting the attachments. Now I call Ketu the trauma node, with good reason. Because as human beings, any sort of cutting or release causes trauma. Trauma is neither good nor bad. Trauma just is. It is a disconnection. Now, traditionally, Ketu is called the moksha planet. What is moksha? Release, liberation, letting go on a very spiritual level. And of course, that sounds wonderful on a spiritual level, but all too often, I see a lot of spiritual bypassing that comes in with this idea and this concept of moksha. On a very human level, release, letting go, forced release, forced letting go, which is what Ketu does, is traumatic. And there is a physiological response to that, and we must understand the nature of Ketu in the chart specifically for that reason. Again, Rahu and Ketu, they're pulling us in these directions of evolution of the soul, and we get there through the body. So wherever we're disconnected in our body, and Ketu tells us that very specifically, that is the reconnection point, and we can reconnect most easily through the body. So we must understand the dynamic of desire and what I'm being pulled into on a soul level in this lifetime. And at the same time, where is the trauma? Where's the disconnection? This is the exact point in the body and in my life that I will be needing to reconnect with over and over and over again. Guess what? You need to know that, because that is the offering. And that is your dharmic offering. And it's also the exact client you work with. Your ideal client from a dharmic perspective is you. It's not complicated. If you know thyself and you know this path that you've been on, you know how to help others just like you. And that's what Rahu and Ketu tell us in a very easy, simple way. As easy and simple as Rahu and Ketu can be, because there's always shadow, there's always illusion, and there's always confusion around it. Hence this taking the blinders off and doing our shadow work, which is a non-negotiable for the dharmic path. So we can refine exactly what I'm here to do, why I'm doing it, who I offer it to, and the exact person I need to communicate with, just from understanding this Rahu Ketu dynamic in the chart, and then of course assessing the chart as a whole. And we have so many other layers we use to refine this, including nakshatras and admakaraka and the navamsha and the 9th house and the chart as a whole and all of it. But this is a very simple way to share it. And then from a marketing perspective, and in fact from a dharmic perspective as well, a human level, there are only 3 life lessons that compel someone to make changes and to invest in themselves and to get support and guidance. And those 3 paths are health, relationships or love, and wealth or money. And so you must determine, looking at your chart, what lane am I in? Because these are the only 3 reasons that someone is compelled to work with you, to invest in your services, and to overcome this pain or challenge that they're experiencing. Only 3 reasons. It's really simple. And in fact, all 3 of these lanes or these pathways are dharmic pathways. They motivate a soul to transform, heal, change, grow, and even spiritually develop on a soul level. So it's health, relationships, or wealth. That's it. So you got to pick a lane, you got to stay there, and then we need to refine exactly what this lane is, how to communicate your precise niche, and who exactly you're talking to. But it's only one of 3 lanes. And some of you, again, are in this broad brushstroke dynamic of trying to help everyone, and it's costing you. And it's costing the results that you could be providing for your client as well. You're not here to serve everyone and every need. And, there's a lot of shadow behind that, and even codependency that needs to be unraveled. And so sticking to a precise niche, a very clear dharmic lane, is essential for your marketing and your success. So these are concepts that your Jyotish chart can support you with, and again, are essential for not only knowing what your offering is, refining exactly what your niche is, who you're talking to, how you talk to them, and refining every level of your marketing. And the beauty of this is that this is about alignment with your true soul purpose. This isn't any old offering or even, a hoping, or maybe this is my dharma, maybe this is my soul purpose. No, there's no question. There are no doubts. Jyotish shatters, eradicates doubt. That is the purpose of Jyotish. Jyoti translates in Sanskrit as light. So this is really the study of light. We're bringing light to the soul. And again, it's the most ancient tool we have on the planet specifically for understanding Dharma, the purpose of the soul, and keeping you connected to your purpose, especially in the dark times of Kali Yuga. So if you're ready for more support around your dharmic path, you want precise dharmic support from someone who knows Dharma, lives Dharma, and has been helping hundreds of people refine their Dharma and their dharmic business for over a decade, you've come to the right place. And I want to encourage you to stay connected to your truth and to create an offering rooted in this truth, this embodied truth. Reach out to me. Let's have a chat. Go ahead and type Dharma below in the comments, and we'll have a 15-minute chat. Let's see if Dharma Mentorship is right for you. This is what we do in Dharma Mentorship. We make sure that you're on path, you're aligned and connected to the true purpose of your soul, and that you're creating your business, your marketing, your messaging around that, so that there's no inner conflict between your offering and making money and also being successful. Type Dharma below. Let's check in. We'll have a 15-minute chat. We'll see if Dharma Mentorship is right for you at this time. And we'll start with your Jyotish chart. And that's where we begin. And everything comes from that. All right, everyone. Happy full moon. Happy Hasta Nakshatra and Hanuman Jayanti. It's been a pleasure to speak with you about my favorite tool, Jyotish, and the power of aligning your marketing with the true purpose of your soul. Comment Dharma below. I'll see you in session. Bye.